You know that feeling when you scroll through a sea of espresso machines, each one promising cafe-level drinks, only to end up with a clunky contraption that spits out watery coffee and takes an hour to warm up? I've been there, and I've also heard the same story from a lot of folks who thought a just-press-a-button machine would solve their morning routine. The risk of spending a few $100s on something that looks sleek online but falls flat at the kitchen counter is real, and that's why I wanted to dig a little deeper before I hit record. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Breville Barista Touch sits in the premium corner of the home espresso market. It's not a tiny pod machine you can toss on a dorm desk, nor is it a bare-bones manual lever that expects you to be a seasoned barista. Think of it as the middle ground, a fully automatic unit that still gives you control over grind size and dose, while handling the pressure and milk texture for you. That balance is what makes it interesting, but also where the trade-offs start to appear. First off, let's talk about the day-to-day experience of actually using the Touch. The machine has a built-in conical burr grinder, which means you never have to deal with a separate grinder or a messy transfer of beans. When you load the bean hopper, the dose control system measures out the exact amount of coffee for a single shot, a double, or even a lungo. In my tests, the grind consistency felt on par with a dedicated countertop grinder, and the machine adjusted the grind on the fly when I switched between a light roast and a darker blend. That kind of flexibility is rare in a push-button espresso maker, and it eliminates the guesswork that usually trips up new users. Heat-up time is another practical factor. Traditional espresso machines can take 3 to 5 minutes to reach brewing temperature, which often leads people to rush the process and end up with under-extracted coffee. The Barista Touch uses a thermocoil heating system that brings the water up to the ideal brewing temperature in roughly 1 minute. That speed is noticeable when you're juggling a morning commute and a quick breakfast. Press a button, pull a shot, and you're out the door before the toast even finishes. Extraction precision is where the machine really tries to earn its price tag. Breville's optimal water pressure sensor monitors the pump pressure throughout the brew cycle, making sure it stays in the 9-bar sweet spot that specialty coffee shops aim for. In practice, this means each shot you pull has a consistent crema and body, even if the beans have been sitting for a few days. I brewed the same blend twice in a row, and the taste profile, bright acidity, smooth mouthfeel, lingering chocolate notes was practically identical. That level of repeatability is something many home users chase but rarely achieve without a high-end commercial unit. Now, the milk. One of the biggest hurdles for newcomers is learning how to texture milk for latte art or a silky cappuccino. The Barista Touch offers an automatic microfoam milk texturing feature that steams and froths milk with a single press. The nozzle is positioned on a sliding arm that moves into place, and the machine detects the temperature and texture, stopping when it reaches a velvety microfoam. For me, the first cappuccino I made was surprisingly smooth, with a glossy finish that looked like it came from a CAF. If you're a latte art hobbyist, the machine still leaves enough room to intervene manually, but the default automatic setting is solid enough for a daily latte without spending a half-hour mastering the wand. So who should actually consider buying the Barista Touch? If you love the idea of specialty coffee at home, want consistent results without spending a lot of time tweaking variables, and don't mind the countertop footprint of a 15-inch machine, this is a strong candidate. The integrated grinder, quick heat-up, and automatic milk texturing mean you can go from bean to cup in under 3 minutes, perfect for busy households where the coffee ritual needs to be efficient. The fact that Breville throws in 2 free bags of specialty coffee when you register also gives you a low-risk way to test the machine's capabilities with beans that are already curated for good extraction. On the flip side, the Barista Touch isn't the best fit for a few specific scenarios. If you're a true purist who enjoys grinding beans by hand, dialing in exact pressure manually, and experimenting with pressure profiling, you'll find the automation limiting. The machine's internal grinder, while competent, does retain some fine grounds after each use, which can affect flavor over time unless you clean the hopper and burrs regularly. Speaking of maintenance, the drip tray and milk wand need daily attention, and the cleaning cycle for the internal pipes runs about 10 minutes, a small inconvenience that can add up if you're looking for a set-and-forget solution. Finally, price is a factor. This isn't a budget entry-level unit, so if you're only looking for an occasional espresso on weekends, a more modest machine or